All right, welcome back. And Daniel Bugo has joined us now. And Daniel, it's good to have you join us this lovely Tuesday morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Good to see you, Cynthia.
That's what you were going to say. Now that you have said that, let's get into it and go on with business. You've heard all of the things we've said about Russia. You've read a lot. You've seen all the angles. Give us your take, in a minute or less, your take on the whole Russia situation.
Just a short one. Since Russia got involved, I knew they were not going to survive it. And, you know, when Seferin traveled, he didn't want to get involved, so he had to exempt himself. And at that point, you could feel it that they were going to get the hammer. So them getting the hammer, I think it's no news. I think Russia is like the enemy of everybody now, you know, not just in sport, also in politics. So everybody's trying to exclude, you just carry your cross, and you being involved now.
Do you think the politics is tainting the sport? Because everybody that was on that panel that made the decision have always tried to hint that, look, this is separate, this guy's committed an offense, and this is the punishment for the offense.
For them mentioning it, I think there's an undertone.
There's another, okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.
Leave Russia.
And we move on. And
okay, let's talk about the team. When I started watching the game, I'm like, okay, West Ham scored. I'm like, okay, Ogbonna is scoring. What's happening to Arsenal? But somehow, I don't know what Freddie told these guys. Maybe he may have said, look, Everton is turning things around. Manchester United also, they're turning things around. Southampton also trying to turn things around. And with some managers fired and everything, and just maybe you just want to be among those former players who've come to their club to kind of rescue them, because that's what Duncan Ferguson is doing with Everton right now. And of course, just maybe, I don't know what he told them at the dressing room at halftime, but these guys came out and we saw the real Gunners, the Gunners we really wanted to see, because they've got the players, I mean, they've got the forward line, midfield, I'm not talking about the back, because we know the back is not too cool. But then the forward line, they've got the players who can actually score, who can attack and, you know, get the goals. And of course, they all came on Aubameyang, they all came on firing. And that second half, they were able to get the scoreline that, you know, typical of an Arsenal team, 3-1. But then towards the end of the game, we're also afraid, are they going to concede? But I love that hunger they had in the second half, which we saw it in the first half, but somehow it didn't really just go their way. But Arsenal, finally, they're back to winning ways. I hope it's going to continue.
Well, let me start from... First, I thought they are in for the taking. But again, it was West Ham who was in for the taking. And then when you look at it, they were a bit shaky. Yeah. We saw Zenisaka's pass, Socrates, and the like. And you begin to ask yourself, what's going on? But again, they turned up the heat, and now they piled the pressure on West Ham. But again, the true test will come this weekend when they play Manchester City. So I think it's a good one. Good to see Pepe, you know, beautiful goal and a very sweet assist. And I think everything is unfolding. He said they need to run more. Yeah. That they weren't running. So I think nice one to see Arsenal winning again, but I never expected it. I was thinking they were in for the taking. And West Ham now, the board has said they will review after the season, but I think they will be forced to. If he loses to Southampton this weekend, I think it's done and dusted for him. Okay,
but I really, well, okay, but we've seen some players they actually brought in. The 18-year-old Gabriel Martinelli that he brought on and all. He's making his full debut for us. That he was able to get that first goal, his first start. And of course, Aubameyang, you mentioned Pepe. Pepe is someone that Arsenal fans really don't, Yemi, you know much about that. The Arsenal fans really don't understand. 72 million quid, right? Yes. And we've seen the guy who went the other way, talking about Nigeria's... Osimhen, you know, he scored 8 goals or even more, you know, with lead. But Pepe is still trying to find his feet in the Premier League. And the goalie is also got Aubameyang, you know, back to scoring also. Does that mean just maybe these players actually need to do more? Maybe it's not about the coach. It's about the players that you have, because you can't have these players and, of course, you're getting some very terrible and horrible results.
I don't think it's the coach. I think it's the system.
It's a system. I'm talking about the players right now, because the quality Arsenal has, United don't have that. We've seen Leicester, of course, don't even have that. It's fine, we know that Leicester are trying to build and all that, but you see the quality in Arsenal.
They should be doing more.
They should be doing more. That's my point. So that's what I'm thinking. It may not be about the coach. It could just be about the players. Maybe they need I don't know. Maybe they need a real manager. I mean, not just a coach, a manager, someone who can tell them the truth. Like, look in the mirror. take a look at yourself. Is this what you can give to a club that spent so much in getting you over?
Was that why you were happy when they were being linked with Mourinho?
No, not really. I'm like, come on. I'm just like, they really need to.
They really
because you can't have such players. Arsenal usually don't spend, but last summer, I mean, they spent so much money.
A lot of money.
They splashed so much money.
But the question,
I think I have to agree with you because some persons have come out to say they think it's the players that Aubameyang sometimes missing in action.
Yeah.
You don't see him
invisible.
So, but me, I still think it's the system. I think it transcends to the players. They feel, we know we are not supposed to be here, as in when it comes to performance level, but I think they want something done upstairs. And
like what?
See, there are two, Daniel, Cecilia, there are two issues with the squad. And any manager who could solve those two issues would be celebrated. The defense. That's a problem that needs to be solved. Arsenal are a bit top-heavy. They have good forwards. How do you get the best from those forwards? Playing Aubameyang on the left, making him chase the ball. It's not going to work. And you have to find a way of playing arguably two of the best strikers in the English Premier League. Yeah. You have to find a way of playing them together. If it means sticking both of them,
Lacazette and Aubameyang,
and those are, to me, not a lot of people talk about the midfield combinations. I don't have a problem with that. The defense, you have a good goalkeeper in Leno. The season would have been worse if not for that goalkeeper. Yeah. So, what can be done? He can't buy players. Obviously, he's left with promoting somebody from the academy, and I don't see anybody in that bench that's better than the ones that are playing.
Well,
okay.
I think the issue now, it's all-encompassing. System, coach, and the players. But again, when you have such a team, you talked about the defense, woeful, the midfield. Now you have to, when you play an Ozil, we say, okay, there should be somebody who will run around while Ozil just give those passes. Because you know an Aubameyang will always be in that space that Ozil will put that ball. But then, he too has been lazy. So I think the problem is all-encompassing. It has to do, it cut across all but for me...
So is Freddie the man? I know that's where Cecilia is going. Is Freddie the man?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's not the one. Okay, we'll see. There's some coaches... Allegri doesn't have a job, right?
Yes.
So you can look in his work.
But Allegri has said, if you want me, wait till the end of the season.
Of course. That's not coming to inherit this kind of... let me not use a word I'm not happy with right now. They wouldn't want to inherit what's currently going on now. Let's leave us now and talk about the UEFA Champions League. Yeah, the big boys, the league of the big boys. I mean, talk about Liverpool, talk about Barcelona, and talk about Napoli, Real Madrid, and all the big boys. Yeah, big boys, Manchester City, and all of that. But then today, let's look at the fixtures for these particular big boys. But then all eyes will be on Inter Milan and Barcelona. But then Barcelona, of course, Messi won't be playing because the coach said, look, we've already qualified. There's no point,
let's rest
allowing him to travel and all that, go to Italy. Let's just rest him. But let's take a look at fixtures for today. Some of the games that will get us talking. For Borussia Dortmund and Slava Prague, Borussia Dortmund will be home. Napoli and Genk, we know we have two Nigerian players here, Stephen Ode and also Paul Onuachu. They're already out of Europe, I mean, not even Europa is cool for them, right? They're out of Europe, so for them, Napoli will just try and consolidate and see how they can, get a spot in the next round. For Liverpool, this is a bit tricky for Liverpool against Salzburg. Liverpool will have to get a win out of this one.
Just a point.
Just a point and
hope.
And hope. Okay. Yeah, the other way. We'll talk about that much later. Inter Milan, Barcelona, of course, Inter Milan knows that they still need to qualify. Barcelona already, or Benfica and Zenit St. Petersburg. Leon and Leipzig will also be in action. Ajax and Valencia are also in action. Chelsea and Lille they're already out also. Osimhen, come on, he just couldn't do much against Chelsea. They will also be in action today. Then let's talk about this one, the Liverpool game, right? Liverpool, of course, they know how crucial this one is. They just want to get it out of the way and you just get into the next one instead of waiting till the very last time.
In their own hands. That's what Klopp has been telling us.
trying to devise a means of how to stop that youngster. I mean, if you take a look at his statistics, you understand why he's actually afraid of. If you check, I mean, he's just 19. Is it still a teenager? I mean, when was the last time we saw players scoring in the Champions League like this? 5 games, he scored in each of them. Raul Gonzalez was one of them. Wayne Rooney, of course, in those days was also one of such players. So when you see a player like this who is scoring in every game, so a coach is actually plotting on how to stop him. How can they actually stop this guy? Or Liverpool should just play their game and forget about Haaland?
No, because, like I said, he might want to keep it simple. He tells the team, if we don't score, they don't score. But then they have to cut all supplies to Haaland. And if they do that, he might just be a stroll in the park for them. But again, this team, not just Haaland.
4-3, the first leg they played, remember?
You know, and at the time, I think Liverpool, they were leading by 3 goals or 2 goals.
Yeah.
And, you know, they came...
On and on.
Then it turned to a tennis score. But if you look at this Salzburg team, I'm looking beyond Haaland now. The other guys too, they're also good, you know. And they should just... I like what he's saying. I think he's trying to play mind games there, trying to say he will try to cut... I want to see his starting lineup. I know he doesn't like to rotate, but for some games now... He
has done it for a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like 2 games. I want to see how he's going to put this team...
Set them up to play.
Set them up to play. So, for me, I think it's going to be... Because if Salzburg will qualify, they need to batter that result of that 4-3, maybe like a 6-2 or so. So, but it's going to be difficult.
And you can't get that against Liverpool. You can't.
Okay.
All right, let's listen to Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson. His thoughts on the game. And, of course, we'll come back for more sports this morning.